Hey, love. Welcome back to another episode of Lessons from Behind My Chair. I'm your host, Angela B. Fuller, master hairstylist turned certified life coach. Today, I am excited about the conversation that we are going to have today because for me, it's a very personal conversation. At the end of 2022, I made the decision to get my health in order, to get my business in order, to pour more into myself, to grow more, and to do whatever it takes to be in a better position mentally, spiritually, physically, financially than I was in 2022. And the easiest thing for me was to start with my physical health in terms of exercising, in terms of eating right. And listen, I had to really talk myself into being true to my promise, into keeping the promise that I had made to myself. Because I'm telling you, when it has not even been a week yet, before I found myself just not being able to do it. And if I wasn't careful, I would have let defeat set in. I started to feel defeated before I started. So what I did was I had to self-talk. I had to talk to myself to get myself going this morning, because I knew that once I got my headspace right, then I was more likely to follow through, to just take that first step. And for me, before I go to the gym, because I've started lifting, I know that I need to get my macronutrients in so that I can have the energy and the stamina to power through my workout. I say power through, but believe me, it's just trying to stay in the game. So I went in the kitchen and I prepared myself a good meal, a light meal, but a good meal that consisted of protein, carbohydrates, a cup of coffee, and water. I ate that, and that kind of got me into the groove. Then I took one of my brain formula, something to help me mentally, and I did take some of my pre-workout because that have a tendency to get me going. And so then I got dressed, I put on my gym clothes, and I still, the whole time, I'm talking to myself. I'm encouraging myself. Angie, remember the promise. Remember the promise you made to yourself. And sometimes we just have to go there. Sometimes we have to dig deep in order to keep promises to ourselves. And we cannot let that voice, that negativity win. We just cannot let it win. And we all are guilty of it. I don't know about you, but I'm guilty of that a lot. I get a lot done, but it's not like I get a lot done with ease. And so I said to myself, if I feel this way, then certainly there are people, other women who feel the same way. So I just, I hopped on to just encourage you all that sometimes we have to just put one foot in front of the other so that we can keep going. And even if you're taking baby steps, if you continue to take those baby steps will create some footage, then some yardage, then some miles. And once you get your momentum going, then you can keep going. And once you power through that workout, or even if you got to crawl through the workout, You did it. And the thing that I find is that when I encourage myself to go through, I have to ask myself, I feel so good afterwards. I have to ask myself, why was it so hard? And I am convinced that it has everything to do with our mindset. If we're not right, if our mindset is not right, if our mindset is off track, then everything that comes out of us, everything that we are trying to produce, every thought that we are trying to turn into a physical reality is going to be tainted by that. And you know what? It's got to stop. We got to start keeping the promises to ourselves, because when we don't follow through on the promise that we made to ourselves, guess what it does? It's going to dig us into a deeper hole. And when that happens, it's harder to pull out. So what I decided to do going forward is prepare the night before. If I know that I want to make it to the gym, okay, and I don't want to have to make it a whole chore to make it to the gym, then I'm going to start preparing the night before. I'm going to get my gym clothes ready. I'm going to prepare my pre-workout, have the powder of it on the counter, and all in the morning I have to do is add water. I'm also going to make sure I got my phone charged up, my AirPods charged up, so that I can have the motivation to power through my workout. I'm going to choose my music ahead, and I'm also going to know what parts of my body I'm going to work, my lower body, my upper body, or full body. Am I going to do cardio? I find that I cannot leave anything to chance. Otherwise, I'm setting myself up not to make it happen. And I know that when I work out, when I'm feeling good, when I got all that oxygen flowing through my body, then I know that it's going to affect other goals and other areas of my life that I have laid out, things that I want to accomplish. It'll make it so much easier for me. And so if you have decided that this is your year to get into better health, better mental state, better emotional state, if you've decided to lose weight or even put on muscle, prepare and plan ahead. Don't leave it to chance. And also, my daughter is my accountability partner. I want to encourage you all to have an accountability partner, because that's what makes the difference. Because, hey, let's face it, life happens. You know, situations happens. Sometimes our moods are up and sometimes our moods are down. So we can't always depend on ourselves to get us where we need to go. Okay? So we talked about it. We want to prepare the night before. We want to have everything, our gym clothes, everything laid out. Our pre-workout, if that's what you do, your pre-workout. Have your music, have everything charged up, so there's no excuses. You know, this is the year, for me, this is the year of no more excuses. I'm going to get it done, even if I got to take baby steps to make it happen. And I want you to promise yourself that you are going to do the same thing. And don't be so hard on yourself. Don't be so judgmental on yourself when you don't do it to absolute perfection. Because it's not about perfection, but it's about making a promise. It's about doing everything within your power to keep that promise And it's about getting better each time you make the attempt. I believe in you. I know you can do it, because 2023 not only is my year, but it's your year as well. And remember, I believe in you. Okay? I'll talk with you on Wednesday for our fresh squeeze dose. And of course, our fresh squeeze dose is every Wednesday. I bring you a mini-sode to help you make it through your week. But if you found anything of value in this episode today, I'd sure would appreciate it if you pass it on to someone who you believe can benefit. All right? I'll talk to you later. Okay? Bye. Mwah.